Okay, so I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. So, hi everyone, I'm Chelsea. I'm on the sponsorships team here at Syncs, and I'd like to welcome you all to the 2021 Syncs Hack Live Judging Round. To all the participants, you made it through the night, and now you get a chance to pitch your hacks to our judges. I'm super excited for what's in store for today, and I'm joined by an awesome panel from Atlassian. It would be great if we start off with some intros, so if you could share your role at Atlassian, what you studied, and a tip you have for the teams. We'll start off with Izzy and go in order of the pictures on the slide. But before we get into it, I wanted to say a massive shout out to Izzy and Atlassian. They've been really supportive of our hackathon, and we've been working on this together for like weeks. So we're so happy to have you as our headline sponsor, and yeah, great work team. Over to you, Izzy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Izzy Iglesia. I'm a campus recruiter here in Sydney, so I hire interns and grads. My focus areas are engineering, so front end and back end, and also associate product managers, which we call APMs. I studied a Bachelor of Commerce with the Finance Co-op at UNSW. And my tip is, please don't be nervous. We're so excited to see your presentations. Good luck. I assembled this judging panel, so there's lots of talent and experience here. These folks are the next big names in tech, so watch out for them. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Chelsea and the Syncs Hack team. So much work has gone into this hackathon, and we've been really, really impressed with everything. And I'll pass on to Shane.
Thanks, Izzy. Hey guys, I'm Shane. I'm a software engineer at Atlassian, and I work on developer tools for Atlassians. I studied software engineering and commerce at UNSW, and my tips or good luck messages would be don't focus on winning or anything. Focus on having fun with your mates, building stuff, and try to learn as much as you can. And that's it. And I'll pass on to Nia.
Cheers, Shane. So I'm Nia. I'm an associate product manager at Atlassian working on Forge, which is one of our newest platforms for building apps for Atlassian products on the cloud. It's pretty cool. At uni, I studied a double Bachelor of Mechatronics Engineering and Commerce at Monash Uni, Melbourne represent. And as far as tips go, I'd say, yeah, be confident. We are super excited to see some cool and crazy ideas. So enjoy it and appreciate kind of the learnings you get from this. And yeah, looking forward to see what you got. Handing over to Gabe.
Cheers, Nia. Hey everyone, my name is Gabriel. I'm an associate product manager here. I work on our smart platform, so machine learning and artificial intelligence capabilities across our products. I studied a Bachelor of Software Engineering at the University of Sydney. And my tip is be confident and talk calmly and think about it more as talking to a person than making a big pitch, because at the end of the day, we're all just people. I'll pass it over to Izzy.
Sweet, thanks, Gabe. Hey guys, I'm the other Izzy from Atlassian, Izzy K. I'm also an APM. I work on our linking platform, which focuses on integrating all of our products nicely using our platform, and also on our new products, which has been super, super exciting. My degrees are mechatronic engineering and computer science, also at UCID. And my message is just have fun. You've put in the work. This is your chance to now show it off. So have fun, relax. It's going to be a good time. And passing on to Jono.
Hey, thanks, Izzy. My name's Jono. I'm on the observability team at Atlassian, where our role is essentially just making sure that developers have a nice experience around monitoring, tracing, logging, making sure that the products that they deploy to the cloud are visible. And I studied software and bioinformatics also at UCID. Exactly the same as Izzy there. I think the same thoughts. Have fun. All the hard work that you've put in over the last 2 days are over, and now it's just the final stretch. So I'll throw over to Chelsea.
Cool. Thanks for the intros, everyone. So excited to have you on board as judges. I think we have our first team on the call. Yes, looks like it. So I'll stop sharing my screen. Hello. So Sonia will be in charge of timing. You'll hear a bell at the 2 minutes 30 second mark. So just know to sort of wrap it up at that time. Cool. Is someone going to be sharing screen?
Sounds great. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll share my screen. Give me one sec. Sounds good.
We start whenever.
Start whenever. We'll start.
Next slide, Wilson.
Yeah.
People going through mild distress, a problem only exacerbated by the current lockdowns across Australia, often struggle to find someone to speak to. Fundamentally, there's still an incredible amount of stigma that exists around this idea of speaking out. And to compound this, there are no outreach forums for individuals to join in order to feel heard and resultingly feel better. Building a community centered around support and anonymity is crucial in providing everyday Australians a platform that they can turn to when they aren't feeling their best. At its core, this is what our product Yodel aims to facilitate. Yodel is a community platform that helps individuals supercharge their mental health by using the concept of audio to allow every Australian to be heard. It provides users with a platform to express their concerns whilst also helping those around them. During our pitch, we'd like to highlight three key features. So the first one is short voice memos, which allows users to create audio-only posts in our community forums. The second one is the ability for users to post anonymously, which allows them to be heard whilst also maintaining their privacy. And finally, by providing users with inspirational quotes and conversation starters, we aim to facilitate greater conversations across our platform. I'll now pass it over to Wilson, who will give you a project demo.
Sounds great. Thanks, Raghav. So let's have a quick look at our site that we built here. So this is the main homepage that you will see. And immediately you'll see a friendly UI where you can see how other users have posted their voice memos. This is sorted by forum or by category. So you can go to caring, motivational, 2 a.m. thoughts, etc. And you can also explore. And you can also see the memos that others have posted. So let's listen to, say, for example, one audio clip that I've posted a while back. So I've been feeling a bit down recently with COVID and not too sure how to take care of myself on my off days. Would love to see if you guys have any thoughts on this. So posting a memo is just as easy as finding listening to one. And all you have to do is click a post a memo button. The little red button up here allows you to record. So I can press record, testing, 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 and play. Testing, testing, testing. And the most important feature here is users can also post anonymously. Also, you can also add a description. So for example, I can just write testing, testing, or maybe I'm not feeling too great. And then here we can just press the post button to post. To view this post, you can look at a couple sections, or you can just take a look at my memos. And this is the post that we just made. So the next important feature we wanted to highlight was the ability to reply to posts and look at threads. So if I click this post that we just saw here, we can see that there were several replies. Our goal is to build a community very purposefully by engaging mental health specialists and psychologists who will have badges and tags as well when they post things. And posting a response is just as easy.
Up. Sorry.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's 3 minutes.
Thanks so much.
Yep. And now it's question time from the judges and some feedbacks as well.
Yeah, so I'll pass it to Shane. Do you have any comments?
I thought that was awesome. What was the motivation for going with like being centered around voice as opposed to text or video or something else?
Sure. So maybe I can take this question. So mental health is an area that all of us have struggled in or had experienced in the past. And for myself, we actually discovered a platform called Tiny Ask a couple of days past. And they had a very engaging audio question-based platform, which allowed people to communicate emotions. So we found that for mental health, several other platforms like, say, Vent, or even Facebook communities were all text-based. It's very hard to get the subtleties of emotion through there. So for us, we thought audio was the best platform to do that.
Cool. I think it's a great idea.
Nia, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah. First of all, really cool project. I think you hit a real pain point. And I think having a frictionless UI is like definitely the way to go. So that's awesome. In terms of questions, so like I said, you had a really good pain point you targeted. How did you come up with a solution, or why do you believe that your solution is the right solution to solve this problem?
Sure. I'll take this question as well, I guess. I'll hand over the next one. So this problem was actually came and sprouted through personal experiences that a lot of our team has gone through, and especially I think I can speak on my own path. And in the current COVID lockdown, a lot of us would have experienced this low severity gap where it's very, very difficult to find a therapist. The way that we went about this process was we rubber ducked with each other, talked to friends, and brainstormed to a solution to this problem. We also looked at several other existing solutions available out there, including direct and non-direct competitors. So including even therapy or vent.co, or several ones overseas as well, like Udify in America. We took inspiration, tried to find the good parts of those solutions, and tried to add spice with audio and allow for people to communicate more emotions.
Cool. Thanks, Wilson.
Nice. Izzy?
Hi team, you went first, so good work. I know it's a bit scary to be the first team up. I really loved it, and I could see like the effort and work that went into it. I know we cut you off, so I wanted to hear just like a quick, if you had like the TLDR at the end of it, what we were planning to say, because I don't think you got a chance to say that bit.
Izzy. So the TLDR at the end was we wanted to highlight the last feature, which were conversation starters through motivational quotes. It might seem a little bit overused at first, but this is more so a builder towards, I think, future next steps. So for us, we believe that the spirit of a community platform is its culture and the resources that are available on it. For us, we decided to start off with quotes, and we're going to expand to say, adding mental health support resources. And that will allow us to purposely build a community in the future. And the TLDR of it is we'd love to build, scale, and work on this project to help people who are struggling to voice their concerns, to help them stop venting and start yodeling.
Love it. Thanks, Wilson, and great work, team.
Thanks.
I think that's
Hello.
the end of your question time. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, and I think the next team. I think we have the next team here.
Yeah. Hello.
A few more people popping up. Do you want to start sharing your screen?
Yeah, sure. Is the rest of our team here? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so you have 3 minutes pitching time. And
Great. Sonia, did you do a bell in the last one? I didn't hear it.
oh, I played it.
Did anyone hear it?
I didn't hear it either. Just make it a bit louder, maybe, Sonia.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so there'll be a bell at the 2-minute 30 mark. So just try to wrap it up that time.
Yep.
Yeah, good luck.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yep,
All right. Can we just start whenever then?
ready when you.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Introducing Feel Great, the best platform for philanthropy enthusiasts. Feel Great is an online platform for philanthropy enthusiasts that provides an access point to easily contribute to charities and nonprofits, simplifying the ever-growing problem of knowing who to support and how.
Nowadays, there are so many charities and nonprofits online, scattered all throughout the web as a constant bombardment of information. Great aims to address this issue, condensing all this information into a single platform.
Recently, there has been a growing trend of average donations. including the growing interest of the general public in philanthropy. Moreover, the vast number of charities and solutions in the market can be overwhelming for individuals.
So FeelGreat addresses this gap by providing information, user management, and a source of community, where individuals and organizations can contribute to their favorite charities, they can search and subscribe to other charities, set up recurring or one-off donations, or just get involved with the FeelGreat community by creating and attending volunteering events.
We will now get to our demo. Built on a React frontend and a Django backend, both hosted on Heroku.
Yeah, hey guys, so on behalf of my team, I'm really excited to demonstrate FeelGreat, our vision for supporting philanthropy. So let's get into the main features of our platform, which offers two primary ways to get involved. The first of which revolves around a newsfeed, which gathers the posts of both users and organizations that an individual is subscribed to. So we can look at the newsfeed of this user, who we'll call Mr. 11, who is subscribed to Foundation X. And we can see that Foundation X has created a mission. And it's through this mission that we can directly support this cause, making either a one-off payment or a recurring payment, making it super easy for us to really easily find something that we'd love to support and believe in. And another thing that we can do is Mr. 11 can also share and create social posts. To demonstrate this, I can bring up my teammate Eaton's profile, where he is subscribed to Mr. 11. As you can see, Mr. 11 has recently shared a mission post where we can also directly support and interact with it. And he's also created a social post calling people to get involved. These posts will appear in Eaton's notifications, allowing him to very quickly see what other people are supporting and encouraging him to get involved. Now, we also understand that not everybody may have the means to donate or support financially. So in order to solve this issue, we've decided to create events. Events are created by any sort of user, and they are created to support a charitable event where anybody can get involved at no additional cost, such as Mr. 11's beach cleanup, which we can all attend for free. And that's FeelGreat. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you get involved soon.
Thank you. I'll pass it on to our judges. So Izzy, want to kick us off?
Yeah, thanks, Charles. First of all, guys, awesome job. Really great problem statement. I was really clear on the problem you were solving, and it was a very schmick pitch. I really enjoyed watching it. So well done. I had a question about how you were planning on activating users for this, because I know this is sort of like a social media cross philanthropy platform, right? Like you've got a lot of social features there. And one of the classic problems that social platforms and products run into is actually getting users on and then reaching a critical mass such that other people are going to start joining. So I was wondering if you gave any thought to how you're going to raise awareness of it, how you're going to get users on, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, I might start off. So currently we haven't implemented it yet on the back end just for the sake of having a working prototype, but we are planning to have, there's two classes of users. So there's a user class and also an organization class. So that has been implemented already. So organizations, for example, only organizations can create the mission post to raise money. That prevents other users from sort of doing the GoFundMe sort of scams. But essentially, these organizations will have a verified tick that will have to be manually verified by us. And then because this is a centralized platform, we're hoping that these the organizations can promote that they are on this platform. This is very helpful to use. So that's sort of how we would get our initial reach, because there are people that sort of support individual organizations already. So we're hoping that they can use their existing reach to just first build that initial user base.
Okay, cool. So you're planning on capturing some of the existing customers of those organizations already?
Yeah.
Sweet. Thanks.
Hand it over to Jono.
Hey, great work, team. And love a good pun. So great work on the title there. I was wondering, with users coming in, sharing their ideas, how do you then connect beyond just the social network that I'm in and say the ideas that I'm surrounded? How do I then push beyond that and discover new organizations that I can support?
Yeah, so I think I'll just answer this question for you. So we actually have implemented a explore page where based on ideally it'd be based on what you've already subscribed to and whatnot. But currently we just have it where it just dumps a bunch of like new organization, like pretty much just dumps all the organizations for you to explore and like have a look at to see what else you might be interested in. And I guess that would ideally be the best way for you to kind of find these new organizations. And I guess the second way would just be through people sharing posts. So if you were to follow like a mate or something and they were to share like an organization they would be interested in, that's another way you could kind of like build your network or reach.
Cool. Thank you.
Nice. And Gabe?
Hey team, love the social impact focus. That's awesome to see. My question for you is, have you had a look at what solutions to this problem exist already? And how do you think you're different from those solutions?
Yeah, so when we had a look at sort of the existing applications that are out there, most of them are sort of geared towards a single organization. So for example, Red Cross has their own, or most will be sort of dedicated to a single cause. So for example, Free Rice, that's just to sort of go towards the World Hunger cause. And our platform sort of aims to combine the two. So have a source of information for everyone, as well as being able to and I guess because it's a little bit different because most are either going to be either volunteering or donations, whereas our platform aims to integrate both.
Yep, thank you.
Awesome.
That's the end of the question time. And I think we have our next team here. You're on mute. The team, you're on mute.
Interesting team name. It's a bit confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just wanted to mess with people on Zoom that wanted to say our organization name, actually.
So it's worked. Congratulations. You want to start sharing screen?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll share screen.
Nice. And Sonia there'll be a bell at the 2-minute study mark. So just wrap it up at that time. Just keep that in mind. Cool.
All right. Not all of our team members are in, sorry.
We're waiting for our guy to open Lemuel.
Yep.
Sorry about that. Are we ready to start?
Yep.
Ready when you are.
Sure. So a couple of months ago, our group all had to sit for our very first set of university finals, which is quite a daunting task, as you can imagine. So one thing we all realized straight away, really, was that there wasn't really more than a few past papers that we could find, plus a few tutorial sheets to practice. So every time there was a problem, we would all find ourselves having to load up forums like Ed Workspaces in order to collaborate with teachers and students. And then other times we had to load up Desmos or graphing calculators in order to visualize said problems. And basically we created this app, this website, Sigma Forums, as a way in which every math student would always have running while studying and would be able to randomly generate questions with helpful graphs along the way that would ensure that students never run out of questions while always refining core concepts. Plus, the forum capabilities that it has ensures that students always have constant communication with their educators and other students can help each other.
Yeah.
So now Michael will give us like a sort of demonstration of the app we've created.
Yep. So starting off, we have a simple sign-in screen, and then you're taken to this forum, which just has this list of all, like just many different questions. It all runs on the back end, so this will like be continually updating. There's a search bar at the top, so you can filter by specific tags or by specific titles you want to find. So if you wanted to find things about Riemann sums, you could just search out Riemann and
sorry.
Yep. And you can search that up. And then if you click on a question, you can view it. And each question has their own sort of editor. They're written in XML. And so you can kind of modify things.
Okay, so I'll show you how to do the modification. So I have an example here, the planetary orbital simulator. The XML is all here, but we have some PNGs missing. And so if you zoom in, you can see that. If I hit the fork button here, I'm able to get into the editor, and it's a new post. And I can scroll down to where I have the images for Mercury and Venus and Saturn. I can copy and paste a new link, and I can actually just edit this live and get a preview. So here I have Mercury. I'm going to paste over this, and it should update instantly. You can see there. it just changed. So I'm going to do the same for Venus and Saturn. And then we will have a fixed version of this example.
So the idea is if someone else has made a question, but you want to make some changes to it, or if you want to just use it as inspiration, you can just fork that question and make your own question. So whether you're like a teacher, a tutor, or a student, you can just take any template and then modify it to be your own.
Yep. So here I'm fixing the Saturn image. Here. And now I can push this to a new thing. So I'll call it a planetary orbit. And then I can submit post. And at the bottom here, we have this post that has been created with the new image URLs.
Yep. So you can also add comments on posts if you want to reply and kind of collaborate if you want to solve questions like these.
That's your time up.
All right.
Cool. We'll hear from our judges. Nia, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure thing. Really cool thing. Wish I had it at uni. Would have been pretty handy. Besides everything you got down now, what do you feel is missing? Like, what are some key features you'd like to have to complete the experience, and why?
So yeah, I think the core idea was to kind of provide a lot of good exam resources and question resources. I think a logical next step would be an ability to actually create exams from scratch. So idea of you find questions that you think you benefit from studying. You can kind of select them all and then kind of combine them all into one exam. And that would be one example of how we'd kind of make it more accessible to students who just want to study. Yeah, I think we kind of want to move into the direction of just trying to make it as accessible and usable by students in any kind of level of education or yeah.
We'd also like to make a GUI interface and simplify the creation of questions a lot further, which can be done fairly easily because it's all XML.
Cool, thanks.
Shane, over to you.
Hey guys, yeah, I really like the problem that you're solving because I'm sort of fresh out of uni myself, so I remember what it was like to not have heaps of past exams to study from. I'm wondering, how do you fetch the posts that are there now, like the planet example, where are those coming from, and do you have a plan for how you're gonna filter through and get some of those?
So we're using Supabase, which is it's a new database platform, and it's all in a live database, just fetching it from a table.
Yeah. So all we have to do is just store the XML for the question just in as text in the database, and then just pull from that, and our own kind of XML parser and renderer just kind of converts that to the objects and renders it. So it's really easy to store questions.
So the API that you're using actually provides the content of the questions as well, or?
Yep. I could show you quickly if you want.
That's okay. Yeah, nice work, guys.
Thanks.
Izzy, you wanna wrap us up?
Cool. This is a sneak peek to questions that we asked in the interview. But what did you enjoy most about this experience?
Well, I can't really speak for the rest of the guys, but I feel like we haven't had that much experience in working in kind of a big project with a lot of other people. So it's really nice to kind of have this teamwork experience where we're all kind of working on one big project together. And it was really enjoyable just to see all of our individual components kind of come together and create something that could be actually useful.
Also incredibly new to the languages we're using. So for example, go back a week, I didn't know JavaScript at all. In this hackathon's really helped me learn that. I really enjoyed the process as well. So a lot of the guys were in a similar situation as well.
I think that's really cool. And I think the next step for you and all the other teams would be articulating this project and what you achieved in your resumes and for future interviews. So good work. I think it's just a learning experience. And I think the fact that you were learning new languages for this, props to you guys. And that's something that we really look for and all companies do. So good work.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. That's the end of your question time. We're still waiting for the next team to respond to us. It seems like they are not here. Would you like to have a look at their video submission? Or would you like to move them to the end of the queue so that they can have a live pitch because they are not responding?
Yeah, I'm comfortable to move them to the end, give everyone a chance. Just tell the next team they're on.
And we are waiting for the next team to jump on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Sonia, I think I realized why the sound's not coming through, because if they're sharing their screen, then you can't, like, if you're trying to make the sound from your computer.
Did
you're not sharing the audio.
You're not sharing the audio, so like, do you have it on like your phone maybe? So it's just like a.
Or as in did the was there a bell ring in the second team?
No, so I think because they're sharing their screen and you're trying to share your audio, like it doesn't match up.
I can try playing it on my phone. Yep. Cool.
If not, I'm
quick
happy.
test run. Oh.
Yeah, I can do a beeping sound. Beep beep.
Let me just admit the next team. I think they're here.
Yeah. It's just the audio. If not, next one, I'll just create it.
No, maybe we can try the like a raise hand. So hopefully, maybe someone in the team would be able to see that.
Anyone got a good singing voice?
I think I know someone. Izzy.
not this, Izzy.
So we have another team that's come on.
So
Can
this
you
is you safe?
Okay, you safe. Cool.
I'm just gonna do a quick test of the bell. It's on my phone now. Let me know if you can hear it.
Okay, it's a
We
bit.
can definitely hear it, but it's incredibly loud.
Right. Can we have the USafe team start sharing the screen and I'll test it again? Because I think the problem was the team was sharing and my audio wasn't going through.
Yeah, sure. Felix, do you want to share your screen?
Yeah,
Hi,
sure,
everybody. Instead of a live pitch, we've decided to just show our video and we'll let it speak for itself. So Felix will share his screen and enjoy.
Cool. So I guess we don't need the bell this time, Sonia.
Easy.
Nice.
But I'll still test it for the next team.
Yes, we can see a screen. Looks all good.
Let me just quickly play the bell ring again.
Oh yeah, that's good for the next one.
Okay, cool. Yep. So team USafe, ready when you are.
Sure.
The ways we work,
Sorry,
learn,
let me just
and
start again.
Zoe, like many others,
Is
an
the audio
Australian
working?
student
Sorry.
experiencing extreme cyberbullying and online abuse. But Zoe isn't the only internet user facing these challenges. The onset of the pandemic has led to the rapid surge of digital technologies, revolutionizing the ways we work, learn, and interact. However, this has increased our vulnerability to the potential dangers of the internet, such as malicious threats, cyber abuse, identity and data theft, social media pressures, and toxic information that can severely deteriorate our mental health. So how can we educate users like Zoe on where to report cyberbullying and abuse? How can we better inform ourselves on protecting our information and digital reputation? How do we ensure safe use of the internet and preserve our mental health?
Existing solutions tackling these issues include the Cyber Safety Project, which educates students about digital well-being,
Oh, sorry. Just
as well as Google Chrome extensions, which focus on ad blocking and disabling web trackers. While these solutions are helpful, they fail to assist users in reporting online abuse, fail to warn users of cyber safety practices, and do not help safeguard one's mental health by censoring sensitive content. That's where USafe comes in. USafe is a Chrome extension committed to keeping users safe while navigating the internet.
Our key features include generating a pop-up that links to an e-safety guide, detailing instructions on protecting personal information and reporting abuse via the application, for example with Reddit. We also warn users of potentially dangerous actions, such as entering emails and passwords to protect them from scams and identity theft. Additionally, we also allow users to take multiple screenshots of cyberbullying evidence or evidence of scams. The dates and URLs are automatically generated. However, we also allow the users to add the names of people involved, then download all of these items in a zip file. This really streamlines the process of submitting a report to help combat harassment and abuse. Additionally, we also censor explicit or sensitive words by scanning through the page and searching for matches with custom words or word bank. This also extends to censoring images that could contain explicit content.
USafe combines all of these features into an integrated package that's concise and easy on the eyes. As a Chrome extension, it can be implemented into private and public computer spaces. And there's more planned down the track, with features like using ML AI to filter scams, targeted word banks for better censoring, curated dashboards for social media sites that avoid trigger words and topics, the ability to screenshot an uncensored original image for cyberbullying evidence, and the selective censoring of provocative images based on Google Cloud Safe Search to detect explicit content. With an increasingly prevalent digital age, USafe is committed to promoting online safety and mental health so that users like Zoe can rest easy when browsing the internet.
Yep, that's our pitch.
Nice. Now I'll hand it over to the judges. Gabe, start us off.
Oh, sure. Well done, guys. I love this. I think this is fantastic. My question for you is a little bit of a practical one, which is if you wanted to do this for a whole bunch of different websites, let's say for Reddit and Facebook and a whole bunch of others, do you have to go and manually do that? Or have you got some way of kind of automating some of that, for example, where you would report abuse?
Yeah, so I'm happy to take this question, and then my team can add on if they want to. So Felix, do you mind navigating to zoom.com? I'll just show you the eSafety guide that pops up. So what we're using is we're actually web scraping the guide from eSafety Commissioner. So if you go back to eSafety guide, the eSafety, click that, yeah. So there's a lot of games, websites, applications with different eSafety guides available. And so whenever a user will navigate to this website, that's when they'll receive the notification. And that's where they can receive information specifically tailored to the website application that they're visiting. Yeah.
Cool. Jono?
Looks like a live demo just at the end there, which is awesome. Similar question to Gabe here. Say your Chrome app gets really popular and a lot of people using it, a lot of people sending reports. How do you then scale up handling of those reports?
Sure, I can give this a shot. And if anyone else wants to add, feel free. So right now, our Chrome extension doesn't really use much, I guess, our backend or too much external services where I think scaling might be an issue. Generally, I think the key features are kind of self-integrated, and the snapshot is being saved on cookies, and then the users get to download those images. Correct me if I'm wrong, Heidi or Sarah, about how that functionality works. But just, I guess, to answer your question, if it does get really popular and we do find the need to, I guess, implement new features such as AI, machine learning, and there might be a need for a backend or like additional features, our team has discussed that we could take this on with cloud services. We could wrap, I guess, the Chrome extension with services and platforms such as AWS or Azure. And I know they provide a lot of, I guess, functions and functionality that scales as we go. So I guess that's an easy way to kind of keep up with users.
That's the end of your question time.
Oh yeah, Izzy, could just add something. I know you want to say something.
Yeah, I just have one question. So first of all, I love it. I really, really love it. This made me really excited, and it's something I could see myself using. I had a question. One of your key features or sort of key value props that you mentioned was around like streamlining the reporting process. And then I wasn't clear when you showed the demo whether or not like if I encountered harassment or abuse online and I could download this, awesome report that like streamlines everything for me, how do I then know where to go, where to report that? You might have touched on it and I might have missed it, but just wanting clarification on that one.
Yeah, I can answer this one. If you just click on the extension, Felix, yeah, so it actually directs you to the eSafety website where you submit the report. So it's just kind of like streamlining that process. So you kind of download everything into a zip file, and it makes that kind of really easy because I think they ask you for evidence when you report. So that's the user's actually directed to that, and there's like very clear steps on like what steps to take to kind of report abuse in that section.
Yeah, fantastic. So it is actually at the moment specific to Australia because it's using a government,
yes,
like an AU Gov bureau. Okay, cool, awesome, great work, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. I think we have the next team, Edwina, here.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen. Can you guys see this? Yep. Yeah, we can see it. Okay, awesome.
Right, ready when you are.
Oh, hey guys, I'm Juliana and I'll be introducing our project. So by clicking join or by simply browsing a website, you agree to abide by our terms of service. It's a phrase we're met with each time we browse the web. In our research, we found that it would take an average of 76 working days to read all the privacy policies you encounter on the internet in any given year. So it's no surprise that we don't always take the time to read the fine print. Spanning 14,000 words, Facebook's terms and conditions are hardly succinct. So if you're one of the platform's 1.4 billion daily users, you may want to think about whether you properly understood what you're signing up for. Our team recognizes there's a lot in click to agree contracts that would give many people a pause if they knew about them. For example, the right to keep, analyze, and sell user data. We realize we have a debilitating no reading problem and we can't blame the users. I'll hand it over to Edwina to introduce our product.
Introducing Summarize Our Terms and Conditions. So here we have ASOS and it's a Chrome extension. So you can just, with one click, open it up, and in a matter of moments, you'll find a short summary of the most common and critical appearing policies you're agreeing to. So for example, in ASOS, it says, if we discover an error for any of the goods you've ordered, we'll tell you ASAP. And then a piece of really important information is, if we can't get in touch with you, we will treat your order as cancelled. And so that's really important, and you wouldn't know this unless you were to read the entire terms and conditions. And other examples, Stack Overflow, you can just click it, and in a matter of moments, it automatically gets the terms and conditions and summarizes it. I'll hand it over to Andre to talk a little bit about the algorithm we used.
Hello. So we decided to implement the text rank algorithm. The first thing it does is finds every sentence in the terms and conditions. It then gives every sentence a score using a similarity function. The score represents how similar the current sentence is to all the other sentences in the terms and conditions. We then take the highest rated sentences to use for our summary. This implementation seemed to work great across many tested websites, as you can see in this live demo from Edwina. I'll hand it over to Ingrid now to discuss our future roadmap.
So basically, I think we've created like a really good basis already, and what we're sort of like in the future looking to do is have better algorithmic detection for critical and illegal policies. So you don't want to be agreeing to something that's like actually illegal. We'd like to have deployment across different web and mobile browsers, and we'd also like to have a rating system which determines like the overall risk associated with agreeing to something. So basically, like, we would rate it and then it would help the user decide basically whether they wanted to agree or disagree. And yeah, thank you.
Oh, cool project. Important to tackle those sneaky T's and C's. I'll hand it over to Shane to kick us off.
Awesome project, guys. I didn't actually realize there's no one read those terms and conditions. Am I the only one? Only kidding. No, I think it's a good idea because, yeah, no one that I know reads that stuff. But it would be nice to have like just a TLDR on the terms and conditions, so you know you have some idea of what you're clicking agree to. My question is, what did you guys learn from implementing the text rank algorithm? I think that would probably be an interesting experience.
Definitely the biggest learning factor was just how different terms and conditions look to normal text. So normal text will most likely end a sentence in a full stop, question mark, or exclamation mark. But terms and sentences have subclauses, and the way subclauses are on some websites may be tab separated, on others may be space separated. So we had to go in and modify the regex to try and get a better sentence detector for a set of terms and conditions rather than just a novel, which was the normal use case of the implementation we inspired from.
Very cool. And I have actually one more question. Did you have a look around, like, were there third-party libraries that provide an implementation? And like, why did you determine that it was you're best off rolling your own?
Oh, we did actually first take, it was an implementation written externally, but we had modified it so that it would work for terms and conditions. So it had nice features that we could use, but at the end of the day, when we first deployed, the summary was around 100 sentences long. So it definitely wasn't suited. So we had to modify it slightly, and then it became our own special text rank algorithm in a sense.
Cool. Nice. Awesome work.
Cool. Nir, love to hear from you.
Thanks. Yeah, it's such a small thing, but made me genuinely excited. There's nothing worse than skipping terms and conditions, knowing you might be just selling your soul, but you're never sure, but you're too lazy to read. So honestly, if it becomes a thing, definitely something I'd consider using. I think you answered most of the questions I would have had in the slides, to be honest. So yeah, good job, guys. My only question would be how you'd make the algorithm better. So obviously, it's all based on learning. What would be your approach to improving it in the future?
So the main one was definitely efficiency. So you did say there was a slight delay when it came to actually processing it. I think the algorithm itself doesn't need as much refinement as the actual looking for terms and conditions, in the sense that we have to account for every single HTML structure online, which completely varies from different companies. So it's much easier to find terms and conditions for one company than it is another. So accounting for this would probably be the next step forward and the biggest impact for work. But in terms of let's say raw algorithm based, we definitely wanted to look into not only finding the sentences that were most similar, but also finding sentences that had the scariest words. So let's say, for example, those that put you straight into legal prosecutions, or those that you really wanted to know. While they might not be similar to the rest of the terms and conditions, they are just as important. So that's definitely something we wanted to look into.
If I could add, another thing is if we want to categorize our summary. So for example, if we wanted a privacy point or a cookies point, we'd need to improve the algorithm so we'd train it so that it could actually identify the separate subheadings we're looking for.
That's
Cool.
the end
Awesome
of
work,
the
team.
time. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. I think Hire Me is the next team.
Yeah.
Samir, is Hire Me in?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So
wait, we're still missing one person from our group.
So are they called? There's someone in the waiting room called Johansa, but I don't think they're in your group, so I'm not sure.
Wait, his name's Kalindu.
You want to start sharing screen while we're waiting on that?
Yeah, could you message him, because we've tried and he hasn't.
He says he's in the waiting room right now.
Oh, okay. Maybe his Zoom name is different.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
he's using
it's his
his
sister's name. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then.
Sorry,
Okay,
yeah, that's my
it's all good.
using my Zoom, so I apologize for that.
Oh, good. Do you want to start sharing screen? Your team, whoever will be doing that.
Okay. We have we're going to use our pre-recorded pitch, so I'll be sharing that right now.
Nice. And just to confirm, what was your team name?
Hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Sorry, I have to restart my Zoom. Is that all right?
Yes, all good. I don't know if it was directed at me or not.
The name makes me want to hire them.
Oh,
Playing
please,
sneaky
guys.
mind game with-
Please,
Very
do.
direct.
It's a direct call to action.
Should I share my screen? No?
Be back now.
Wait, Lillian, what team are you?
Zoomaholics.
You're next. You're next.
So you're after this one, Lillian. Nice to see you, by the way.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
Hi, I'll be starting now.
Yep, ready. You can start ready when you are.
I don't think your audio.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. Is it just my audio or?
Share your Zoom
No,
with the video audio when you shared your screen.
It's okay.
Sorry, yep.
It's okay.
We can't hear it.
It's very soft, like very faint.
But as much as ordering food online can suck, we often don't personally consider how lockdown and social distancing affects restaurants. As early as March 2020 of last year, the hospitality industry has been impacted by COVID-19 restrictions, including lockdown measures as well as general social distancing requirements, which cut down on their already limited occupancy levels. In general, they're one of the industries hardest hit by the pandemic due to the physical nature of their work.
Now fast forward a bit. Everyone's going to be carrying COVID-19 antibodies somewhere or another, and it's eventually going to be time to reintegrate ourselves into the real world again. But we've been inside all year, and although a lot of you may be happy to go back to normal, if you're deathly afraid of the outside world like me, you might need a bit of motivation to start going outside. But that's when my boys have come in clutch and made Duo Food Go, an all-new platform for restaurant exploration. Duo Food Go aims to reignite that fire of discovery, that peak. Inspired by virtual pet apps such as Tamagotchi, it is an app that you use to find restaurants near you, but also collecting coins that can be spent to drip out your very own virtual pet. As the more you go out to eat at various places, the more swag you collect for your pet.
Duo Food Go has two core functions, being a virtual pet app and a restaurant guide. To use Duo Food Go, you can first open up after installing it from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. The UI design is heavily inspired by modern app design. This is seen in our use of rounded buttons, pastel colors, and minimalist icons. The pet view is the entry page for the user experience, where they can interact with their pet and give it all their love and attention. This is where the users can customize their pet, buy cosmetics, and feed it. The main attraction of the app is the restaurant map view, where users are invited to explore food places around them with the integrated map in the app. Furthermore, we've included a receipt scan section that can detect content of the order and give rewards for the user to spend on their pet.
When it comes to improving Duo Food Go, there's a lot we've done, but there's also a lot to be desired. Beyond simply implementing our current features, there are many branching paths of development we can take to further optimize the user experience in the future. More pets and adding additional unique milestones will be key in sustaining user interest in the app. Moreover, being able to integrate restaurant promotions into the app, building upon our bare-bones social media integration, and adding a restaurant tracker to enable the user to favorite and save the most memorable meals will significantly improve app functionality.
Cool. Hand it to the judges. Izzy K, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, cool. First of all, awesome job, team. I love a good, cute little virtual pet. Reminds me of Neopets, which I was a big fan of back in the day. So my question is just relating to the core value prop. So I get that you have the pets, and I love that. And then there's the restaurant like functionality, which I suppose is trying to like draw us out of our homes and stimulate the economy and all of that good stuff. And my question is, how do those two relate? Like, is the pet just there to get me on the app? It's like, that's the incentive, or can I feed the pet with the more times I go to the restaurant, I get points, or like, how do those two sides integrate?
I think the pet's there meant to be there to incentivize you to go outside. So when you go to a restaurant, you earn coins or something, which you can use to like customize your pet, like give it clothes and hats and stuff. So like, and you can also probably feed it at some point.
Okay, so I earn coins on the pet store when I go outside and do like restaurant activities.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Awesome.
Cool. Hand it to Gabe.
Hey team, well done. This is really exciting. It's an interesting problem space as well. Really, really important one. My question for you is, what does this look like today? What does the product look like? What functionality is there?
Yeah, I can answer that. Our app is based on mobile, a lot of mobile UI design. So we plan to have it released onto iOS and Android. And in terms of features, we are hoping to implement a Maps SDK and allow the user to interact with the locations around them by accessing Google Maps, so they can find restaurants around them. We also implemented we tried to implement a receipt scan system. So what the user is able to do is take their restaurant receipt and scan it, so they can get rewards within the app. So all those considered, those are the app features we have tried to include.
Nice. And Jono?
Yeah, super interesting idea. Thanks for the demo there. I suppose with a pandemic, I snack incessantly now, and for good reason, because my fridge is so close to me. For me, who is looking to eat more healthy, is this app for me?
So I think a function we could add is like filters for the kinds of restaurants you can go to, like cultures, or maybe like healthy restaurants, like certain diets and such. So
yeah, and to add on, we're also looking to implement a monthly challenge system. And if a challenge we could have included was choosing healthy options or choosing certain cultures of food as an incentive to try those things for users. And to add on to that, yeah, healthy foods, we can have a maybe eat healthy week, something along those lines.
Cool, great job, team. Thank you.
That's the end of the question time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And I think, Samir, do we have the next team in?
Yep, they're all here now.
Cool. And then after this one, we'll have a quick break for the judges.
I can't share my video because the host has blocked it.
Who is speaking right now?
Samantha Millett.
Samantha, host.
I didn't block it.
Yes, I didn't block you. Either.
Other teams were able to share screens. I didn't configure.
You want to like rejoin?
Yeah, okay.
But you can start sharing screen for your group while we're waiting, I guess. Someone else? Nice Zoom backgrounds, very slick.
Okay. Oh, wait. I need to share with audio. Sammy's in the waiting room, I think.
Sonia, can you admit?
Yep, she's joining now.
Okay, cool. Oh, she's here. Nice. Yep, so you can start whenever you're ready.
Zoom wasn't built for online learning, but it's the most used meeting platform for the 1.3 billion students learning online. On it, students can only communicate with tutors through public chats. Tutors have no way to meaningfully gauge how their students are progressing. And for those who struggle with English, it's easy to get left behind. That's where Vroom comes in. As both tutors and students, we truly understand the biggest pain points of online learning. Vroom is designed to bridge the gap between the screen and the virtual classroom by making it easier to communicate with and get support from your tutors. Welcome to Vroom. This is your one-stop platform for teachers to manage their Zoom classroom. To launch a bot, simply enter the Zoom meeting link and your name. Zoom polls suck. Here's how Vroom does it better. Just drag and drop your pre-prepared poll and launch it with a single click. Then Vroom clearly visualizes students' results. As a student, have you ever felt embarrassed to ask a question? Just type anon with your question and Vroom will ask it for you. As a teacher, with no way to see what students are working on, you lose the ability to judge progress and pace your lessons. With the progress command, students can share what question they are working on without clogging up the chat. 27% of Australian students have English as a second language, and many struggle to keep up. But with Vroom, you can translate directly in the chat. We have just shown you 4 of the functions that we have built, but here are some of the rest. These features make Vroom a game changer in the virtual classroom. Vroom empowers students to ask more and learn more. It reduces the stress of online learning, it closes the feedback loop and makes Zoom feel more like a classroom, so that teachers can tailor to where students need it most, and increases accessibility for people of all learning types. By 2025, the online education market is projected to be worth around $325 billion, and currently there is nothing even remotely like Vroom on the market. Without any purpose-built online learning tools, students miss out on valuable learning opportunities as they are forced to adapt to the available business solutions on offer. So, why didn't this already exist? Zoom doesn't actually provide an API that would allow you to access live meetings. To overcome this challenge, we had to think creatively. We found that we could use Selenium to create a Zoom participant that enters the meeting live and monitors the chat for messages. And here's how we built it from end to end. Vroom is the push that online learning needed. That's it from us. Here's an example poll. Vote for yourself in the chat now.
Cool. Is that your presentation? So interesting. The joys of online learning. It's a real struggle sometimes. I'll hand it over to our judges while the votes are coming in. Izzy, do you want to start us off?
Hey everyone. Oh my God, I loved it. I thought it had a lot of personality and a lot of sass. When they said polls suck, I was like, oh my God, do they suck? I thought it was very engaging. Having the Zoom backgrounds as well for your prezzo, I think the quality was really high up there. So congrats. I think also we have a lot of tutors that have been on the panel. We've had tutors as well, and I know some of you are tutors. I want to hear more about like the pain points that you feel from your personal experiences if you've been a tutor. Yeah, I'd love to hear some stories.
Yeah, so Andrew and I are both tutors at uni, and Rhiannon has debating coaching experiences as well. So as a student, we go into classes, and a lot of time it's kind of daunting to turn your camera on because nobody else is, and then it's kind of because no one else is, nobody starts. And as a teacher, it's really frustrating because you can't see whether your students are struggling, like especially when you're like giving a recap or something, you don't see any facial expressions, you can't see whether they're processing it or not. And so you're kind of left wondering like do they understand me? Am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? And especially like they're very hesitant to give like confirmation at all. Also, so that's with the questions. It's hard to see, like sometimes on Ed, if they're coding, you can go in and see what they're writing on, but a lot of them use IDEs, so then you can't see that in real time either. So I think that's the biggest issue, like seeing the progress and not being able to see, like I get test whether they've understood what you've told them.
Thanks for that. And I would say top tip to all the students listening to this later on in the Facebook, please put your cameras on, you know, like you go to uni, you want to learn and engage, and obviously the tutors want to help you out. So I know I know you can get away with it because we're in virtual, but I'd say for interviews, all that, it's all cameras on, it's all voice on, so you can just prepare for that for future.
Shout out to Chelsea. She was in my class and she was the only one who turned her camera on.
Oh, good.
It was a 2-person class. Yeah, next up we'll hear from Nir.
Sure. Really nice, clear, polished presentation. It's clear you've done your research, which is really nice to see. Really giving like a holistic approach to problem solving, which I really like. Now that you kind of went through the product and why you did it, what you've done, I'd really like to know if you thought about go-to-market with this. Like, what would be the best approach? Because you're kind of targeting students, but also tutors, and I'm guessing universities or schools. Have you thought about it?
Yeah, so we were thinking of having a bottom-up and a simultaneous top-down approach. So because we already are tutors, we can just start demoing it and trying it out in our classes this semester even, and seeing and spreading that by word of mouth. But then we were also thinking of going to the 8 universities group and proposing this to them, and then getting universities to sign on, kind of like how Zoom has a subscription. So then we can give them like a 1-month trial and see if they like it, just to give people that who might be afraid of trying and testing it out an incentive to do so. With no lock-in, just give them opportunity to make their choice after that.
Thanks, Lillian.
Yeah, that's the end of the question time. Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think now is the break for the judges.
Yeah, let's have a few minutes break, take a stretch. We'll be
And do you want us
back?
back?
3 minutes?
3 minutes. Okay, see you at 2:23. I'm gonna turn my camera off. I'll be back.
Actually, you can have 4 minutes because
4 minutes.
because
Sonia,
you know
you're
how
too
the team
kind.
we skipped one team. So we have fall back a little bit. So the next team is meant to start at 2:24.
Okay, we'll be back at 2:24. See you in a bit.
See you soon, guys.
hello, hello.
Hi, Samir, do we have the next team here?
Yep, there's only 2 of them for the
Oh.
presentation. Yeah.
A duo. Okay.
Apparently the other members are asleep because they're overseas.
Oh,
I
time
think
zones. Okay.
my internet broke. Did I just fell out just then?
You're all good, I think.
Oh,
Time zones. Okay.
I heard someone cut off, I think.
Oh, it was you, Sonia. That's a bit weird.
Oh gosh. Sorry.
You cut yourself off.
Just double checking. The next team is the cool guys, and are they here?
Yeah, it's me and Ricardo. We have 2 more team members, but
The cool guys, and are they here?
yeah, it's me and Ricardo. We have 2 more team members, but
The cool guys, and are they?
Sonia, you
Sonia, I
are.
think someone has hacked you, Sonia.
Someone has hacked Sonia, and
Yeah,
don't worry, it's just funny.
Yeah, okay.
The cool guys are here.
I can confirm, I think the cool guys are here. Do you want to start sharing screen? Well, I guess, yeah, Sonia's going to mute herself. Okay. Yes. So is someone sharing?
Ricardo, would you like to share your screen and show the game, and I'll just give the introduction?
Yep, sure. So yep. Here we go. This is the game deployed actually onto the web. It just doesn't have an actual domain at the moment. Jerome, if you want to take it from here.
Yeah. So the problem that we try to solve is that because class is now online in the lockdown currently, like New South Wales and all lockdowns that keep happening over and over again, we ran into a big problem that we can't play tic-tac-toe with each other in class anymore, next to each other in our books. So we thought of ways to bridge this, and obviously online was the only way to go. We wanted to create a new game, a new way to make this happen, but we had to also obviously add another element to the game. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any innovation in just having tic-tac-toe online. We used to always play, we would talk about this like when we were younger, like mini clip and all these other online gaming things, and we wanted to do something similar to that, but have a more, I guess, sophisticated game. So we brainstormed, and this is what we came up with. And yeah, we just aim to have a quick and easy game that we can play during class sometimes, or even outside of class. And in the future, we'd like to add maybe more games to like different type of games or spins on games to this website, and like track scores and have profiles, and yeah, that's about it pretty much.
Cool. Is that it from your group?
Yeah, pretty much. And we should show the gameplay.
Yeah, someone else has to join.
Yeah, I'll join. Okay.
So the game starts as soon as you have 2 members, and the principle is it's like normal tic-tac-toe, except any bigger circle can be placed on top of a smaller circle.
Okay.
There we go. So you go first.
So yeah, just to get 3 in a row, and see I can go over his dot now.
Yeah.
And then if I go
And
that bigger
then
time.
he won, just like that. And that's about it.
Cool. Time to hear from our judges. Start off with Jono.
This is cool. It's almost like, well, you're taking the tic-tac-toe premise and you're like bringing it into the 3D space, right? This is like 3D tic-tac-toe. So yeah, love the idea and love how fun it can be. Is this a So this is a two-player game, and I suppose if, say, a third member joins, how do you make this work for multiple people who want to play the game at the same time?
Yep. So at the moment, the third player just goes into spectator mode and they can't do anything. But in the future, we can just make it so there's like little rooms that people can join, and you can have 2 players and spectators in each room.
Cool. Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from Gabe.
Hey team, I'd play this. Looks like fun. My question for you is, what did you learn doing it that you'll take away from this?
As a group as a whole, we all learned just the full stack, deploying a web application. Me in particular, I was in charge of deploying it online, and so that's the most valuable part that I got from it.
Cool. And Izzy?
Yeah, I echo Gabe. This looks fun. I would definitely play it. I'm so intrigued as to how you guys came up with this idea. Like, just talk me through the process of how you ended up deciding that you guys were going to build this cool 3D tic-tac-toe extravaganza that you brought to us.
Well, we started with a Zoom call, kind of just sat and stared at each other for a while, not really knowing like where to start at all. And then, so we just got into the topic of like COVID and how we can't see each other and like the little things that we're missing out on. And that got us to like Hangman and tic-tac-toe and games like that you play quickly. But yeah, we obviously had to add another element to the game, otherwise there's nothing really special. So where we just thought, okay, what if we add another element to the game where you can eat other players, or as like Jonathan said, another like a 3D element to the game. And this was what happened.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, team. Good work.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you. I guess if that's all the questions, we'll have the next team, which is Team Abandoned by Ricky. Very interesting name.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel like there's a story there.
Yeah.
We had a member, believe it or not, named Ricky, and he joined another group. So this is homage to him.
All right. Shout out to Ricky, I guess.
Hmm?
Yep. When you're ready, you can start.
Thank you. Just gonna get this ready. All right, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, all good.
Awesome. So my name's Jared. I'm from Summarized, and we're hoping to reinvent the future of note-taking with AI. I'd like to give a shout out to the Syncs team and to the judges as well for hosting this for us. It's been a lot of fun. So our story, we're a group of 5 people who want to spend less time in lectures and Zoom meetings and more time in hackathons and working on our own projects. So the key challenges we were trying to overcome, perhaps you identify with this gentleman over here, where you're stuck in a lecture or a Zoom meeting, and you want to get the key information, so you're afraid to zone out. So we're trying to fix Zoom fatigue, increase time management, and also there's some potential for accessibility issues being solved as well. So Meet Summarized, the general idea of it is you upload a video or a lecture or a meeting recording. It goes through our webpage and then it generates some flashcards and some summarized notes for you. How does it work? We generate a video transcript from the video. We run it through 2 different AIs. We've got an idea summarizer and a keyword extractor. This goes to a third AI, which is a question generator. And then it generates some flashcards. So if we want to do a live demo, I can just... Yeah, I can screen share that.
Yeah, I'll just...
I can't screen share while you're sharing.
Yep, hang on.
So you can see this. This is the app we've got. So we're on this splash page, and then we can just get started. So basically, you're allowed to upload a lecture of your own choosing. So I'll just choose like a sample video, and then I'll submit it. It takes like around half the time of the lecture because it has to go through multiple pipelines to process it here.
Yeah, one of our future endeavors would be to add a loading screen here so users know what's happening right now, but it's being sent off to Google speech to text and it's processing in the background at the moment. So
it's taking a while. So I already have the video prepared here. So it will come out as sample.mp4. And then when you click on it, it will load the video here. And then you can play it. And then the summarized notes will be the lecture notes completely summarized, and then we'll generate questions based on these notes. But because this is such a short video, we only got like a small paragraph, and you can also download the Anki notes. It saves it to your downloads folder. And yeah, that's about it.
Cool, thanks, Jackie.
Sure.
Okay, so why do you use Summarized? So it's easy to use. All you're doing is uploading a video and then downloading some notes and some flashcards. It's also an effective time management tool. It just helps you get more done. And then finally, there's some accessibility advantage there. So if there's people who might not be able to watch lectures in the typical fashion, it can do note taking and that sort of thing for them. So in the future, we wanted to add some more features. There's actually quite a lot we could do here, like time-stamped video summaries. We want to do more languages and make it more efficient. And yeah, that's our little pitch. So thanks for listening to us. And I'll hand it over to Sean for some Q&A.
Good job. One of my jobs at uni has been a note taker, so yeah, very useful hack. Love to hear from our judges. We'll start off with Shane.
Awesome, guys. I thought that was really cool. I wish I had something like that when I was at uni. Because a lot of the time, if I missed a lecture, I'd have to go through, 100 pages of notes or whatever to catch up. So I think this would be really helpful. And I like that you guys had your like a little roadmap on there with what features you'd like to add later on. Because it's hard, in 2 days to put up a polished product. What do you think were the biggest learnings and takeaways that you guys learned, like just building this thing?
To be honest, our biggest learnings were the actual designing of the architecture itself. It was quite a challenge trying to get these models to work. Firstly, because we had limited time, we couldn't train these models to really be accurate or as nice as possible for our data sets. So we just had to increase the complexity and then change the models and the architecture to work according to that. The biggest issues or hurdles we had were issues with Python itself, just with library compatibility issues and trying to get that all work together. So we got each thing working individually, but chaining them together in the last minute, instead of taking an hour, took several hours. And so we finished at about 6 or 7 a.m.
Cool. Well, looked really good and polished. So nice work.
Thank you.
Next off, we'll go to Nir.
Thanks. Yeah, awesome project. We'll have to develop some APIs for it so we can integrate it with Confluence. But yeah, as far as questions go, first of all, so you mentioned you built everything with Python?
Yeah, the backend, and then the front end was created in React.
Cool. Okay, interesting. So if I can do another question, because that was a really quick one.
Yeah.
So in terms of competitors and looking at the innovation here, have you looked at other similar solutions in the market? I know there's similar products for other purposes, like Dovetail, for example. What kind of, where do you find that your kind of market share in the most innovative part of this project?
So we looked at some competitors. We didn't do a full market analysis, obviously. We saw there are tools that did individual things like transcribing notes or even summarizing them, but these were targeted towards like videos for YouTube or data analytics firms just for accessibility. There wasn't anything that really summarized a lecture or a large video into readable formats that were good for people to come back to and revise later as note-taking. So I think there would be a pretty large market for tools that would automate or just change the way people study, especially online, because we've moved to remote learning. So a lot of our lectures are now recorded when they weren't previously.
All right, thank you. That's the end of the question time.
Perfect. Thank you for
Thanks,
your
guys.
time. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Right. The next team is the Force.
Use the Force. Leverage the Force.
Samir, can you confirm if they're all here?
Yep, they should be ready to go.
Cool. You can start sharing screen.
Yeah. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
And just start whenever you're ready.
Awesome.
Are we ready, team?
Yeah.
All right. Hello, my name is Joseph, and I would like to introduce Skillpedica, a unique way of staying motivated during lockdown. During times of lockdown, we increasingly find ourselves isolated from the community and having more time on our hands, yet we don't get more done. We tell ourselves we will learn a new instrument, get fit, or learn a new language, yet we lack the motivation to do so. Skillpedica offers a unique way to tackle these problems by streamlining the skill learning process. Upon signing up to our app, you are paired up with a learning buddy who is interested in one of the skills you have and possess knowledge about one of the skills you want to learn. That way, they can share experiences, provide guidance, and keep each other accountable in their learning journey. When paired up, both users share a virtual pet, which they can level up by accomplishing goals they set for each other. This boosts motivation to keep up the skill because it gamifies the learning process. An individual is more likely to be more productive when there is some sort of collaboration involved. Our product aims to take advantage of this collaboration aspect, and I'll pass it over to Alex for the demo.
So I'll jump straight across to the app, which you can see here. When you log into it, you're greeted by a sign-up page. You can put in your info, put in what skills you already know, as many as you want, and what skill you want to practice. We've got here a dashboard, which is what comes next, but this is a dashboard for someone who's had the app for a while. You can see their previous interactions, the pets you've been able to raise with other people, what skills you've learned, what skills you've shared, all that kind of stuff. And you can also see here what skills you know yourself. We can add new skills, for example, if we've learned something since last time. And you can also see all your previous connections. These show the total levels of the pet to the different people, so you can have a little friendly competition with others. We can find a new partner where you can enter the name of a friend, or otherwise, if you don't have someone in particular you want to go with, you can select what skill you want to learn and the app will find the partner for you. From there, you can go to your pet playground, and there are three main features here besides having your pet, which we can have some fun with. We have a chat, which is where you actually have the interaction where you can motivate each other, provide any helpful links or anything else to other people. And on the other side, you have your goals. So this is where you set goals for the person you're mentoring, and they're able to set goals for you. There are different difficulty levels, and you can check them off as you progress through. Once you check them off, they give you, depending on the difficulty, different amounts of benefits. So here we have the money, and you can buy different accessories and food and things like that for your pet. At this stage, there's only food, but we're planning to expand that later. So once we buy food, you can see it goes onto our pet and they can interact with it. And we've also, through this, leveled up our pets. And through that, we can also now buy more advanced accessories. So now we can buy a dog bowl and things like that. And these interactions can go on. By increasing the pet, you're increasing the motivation. That's that was the demo. Back here. In terms of what's left to do in the future, we have a few things. We want to increase our animations, our accessories, and how we interact with our pet. So that's the first thing. We currently don't have a back end, so we need to link this front end to a back end and a database. We would like to connect to other social media platforms. This will bring a larger user base into our app, which will be really helpful for us. And also incorporate a bit of AI into pets. This will have more entertaining interactions and things like that. So I guess they're the next stages that we want to get onto. I think that's everything here. Yeah.
Cool. Now to our judges for some Q&A and feedback. We'll start with Izzy K.
Yeah, first of all, awesome job, guys. Great pitch. Loved the demo. That little doggy was so cute. I really would love having him on my phone, on my computer. He's so cute. So awesome job. My question is, this is a really interesting problem space. Like, I think online learning platforms are quite pervasive. It's quite a crowded market. So you've got things like Udemy, Skillshare. I was wondering if you had given any thought to what your potential differentiators would be other than the obvious pet motivating gamified angle. Because I think, you know, if I'm going to be using this as like, if I log on as a new user, the pet motivation is only going to get me so far. I'm going to need to actually trust the course content or the learning content as well, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So have you given any thought to that?
Yeah.
I think part of it was, I'll start off and then I'll hand to others, was the idea isn't necessarily to do a lot of the teaching, but rather to lead them through the process of learning. As someone who's experienced in the skill, I know what's the next thing they should be doing, so I can set them goals and what to achieve from one meeting to the next. So I can suggest all that kind of stuff. I can also provide them useful sites that I have found helpful. It's not necessarily you're going to be sitting there directly teaching the skill to the other person. It's more about the journey of learning.
Just to add on to that, I think that like the beginners market is really oversaturated with resources. So the problem isn't that there isn't enough resources, but just simply knowing how to plan your learning journey. So like just having someone help you, guide you through that learning process, it's like more helpful in our opinion. And plus not everyone can teach, and we want this app to have a wider demographic.
But I think also to add on to that, one edge our app has is that you're paired with someone. So while you're progressing through your journey, you're also seeing someone else on the other end progress through theirs. A great motivator is just seeing someone else being productive. That's why, you know, libraries are such a popular space to study on a university campus, because you're seeing other people do work. And by seeing other people follow one of their passions, you also get motivated to follow your own. So that's one edge we might have.
Sweet, thanks guys.
Yes, we'll hear from Gabe.
Hey guys, this is super interesting. I think it's tackling a lot of really contemporary challenges people are having. My question is, there's a lot of different approaches to a few of the problems that you're looking to solve here. Motivation is one of them. Another one is learning, as Izzy pointed out. Have you given any thought to who your target audience specifically for this would be? What are the characteristics of a user that would do particularly well with this solution as opposed to a different solution?
I think the first thing was targeting everyone being in lockdown right now. I know this will end, so our target will expand as our app expands to wider audiences. Our target will expand, but firstly, people in quarantine who can't interact with others. We're all sitting at home. This has that level of social interaction while motivating us to do things that we might not be motivated to do otherwise. So I don't think it's a particular like age group or demographic. In terms of the whole being online thing, there's probably a younger population that appeals to large in a greater sense than an older population. But no, it's everyone stuck in isolation. And then as we move to be more open and as this app grows, it can continue to be used with the people who've experienced it and found out how they've been enjoying it more widely. Anyone else wants to add?
Yeah, I think that like ultimately it's just like a way of promoting lifelong learning. So if people want to like learn new skills, like anyone can use this app.
Cheers, guys.
Joanna, do you have any final comments for the team?
That's the end of the question time. Yeah.
Oh.
Cool.
Joanna, do you want to just say something?
Yeah, some last words.
But I know how cute the dog is. Yeah, differentiator is really tying that social element to learning, and I think you've done a really good job with making it cartoonish and fun. So thank you.
Thanks a lot for your time
Awesome.
and consideration.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cool. So we have 2 more pictures. Getting through it. We have the next team.
Yeah, Victor, Benjamin, and Matthew. They should be ready to go.
Okay. Are we coming in? Yep.
Hello.
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 Yeah, feel free to start whenever you're ready.
Hello, hello. Yep, so we just thought to share a video and jump on Q&A right after.
And Victor. Hi everyone, we're the Optimal Stacking Group, also known as Fat Stacks. Our group members are Ben, myself, and Victor. Our group was inspired by this article to do with shopping during COVID. In particular, some customers using Coles Click and Collect reported that their shopping was packed very inefficiently. This lady had 2 chocolate bars in an entire shopping bag just by themselves. I'll hand over to Victor now to explain how we decided to use innovative algorithms to address this problem.
Cool. So we addressed this in 2 stages. The first stage, we generated all possible permutations of items within the bag using a depth-first search. So for example, this is a possible permutation. This is another possible permutation, and so on. Except it wasn't just a blind depth-first search. We had to make sure that the items were not floating and also make sure the items were not out of bounds as well. I'll now pass over to Ben to discuss a bit about his fitness evaluation for how we evaluated each permutation.
In order to decide on the most optimal arrangement, we use the value function based on 2 heuristic criteria. So first, we want to minimize the amount of void in the arrangement. So in this case, the void would be considered to be the part underneath the orange item. So that part is hanging in the air, and we want to penalize this sort of behavior. Second, our second metric is that we want to maximize the amount of security in the item. And we define that to be the ability for an item to be able to shift horizontally. So in this case, with all 3 items are considered insecure in the sense that the orange, the yellow, and the red item can all shift to the left, right, respectively. So based on those 2 metrics, we can give each individual arrangement a numerical score, and then by sorting through the scores, we can decide on the most optimal arrangement.
Cool. So for example, one of the more optimal solutions is this one. You can see that both of these are secure, and the yellow one is only slightly insecure with only 1 block to the side. However, overall, this one performed the best. Our learning outcomes coming out of this hackathon, we hoped to learn a bit of multiprocessing. So as we can see here inside the generate arrangements, all the permutations, we managed to parallelize this operation, and we found that when we used up to 16 cores, we saw performance increases of up to 5 times the runtime. So that was really fun. We also wanted to play around with some interesting algorithms. And finally, we also learned a bit of test-driven development. For example, here is our test suite, and we can also run that directly here. Cool. I'll now pass over to Matt to discuss a bit about potential future work for this project.
The first thing we'd like to take further is calling the value function from inside the generator. This would let us employ alpha-beating pruning to only explore the most promising subtrees. We could also use better criteria to build our heuristic, and also generalize our problem to 3D space, better representing the contents of an actual shopping bag.
We thank you for listening to our presentation. With our algorithm, you'll also be rolling in fast stacks.
Cool. We'll hear from our judges. We'll start off with Shane.
That was really cool. I think, it's clear you guys went to a lot of effort with the technical side of things, which is really cool and nice to see. If you were to release that to sort of take it to market, what do you think the user interface would look like for someone who's actually packing the shopping bags?
Yeah, we thought about this briefly. So as Victor mentioned prior, this was mainly a technology demonstration to explain that we can implement this sort of algorithm. Although we discussed at the start that we could use some sort of computer vision system to track objects on a conveyor coming into a packing area. And then based on that data, overlay positions for those objects inside the bag when they're being packed. We could even extend this further, so go beyond small shopping bags and packing pallets in a warehouse or larger objects into boxes at, say, Amazon or eBay distribution centers. So we feel that this technology has really widespread uses in industry.
Cool, nice work, guys.
Next up, we'll hear from Nia.
Hey, so as someone who worked at Woolworths before during uni, I can really appreciate using less bags and helping people stack products more efficiently in a bag. I'd be really curious to hear about some challenges you have encountered or envision encountering when you move towards your next steps in this project.
Yeah, so clearly one of the biggest hurdles going forward is approximating shapes better, in particular spheres, cylinders, non-rectangular objects. And in particular, when we start to approximate those solutions, like say circles, we have to discretize the interval, which means our bag dimensions will increase exponentially, which means the runtimes also get more complicated. So that's probably the biggest hurdle right now. But we've already parallelized our algorithm. We can offload that to cloud computing as well, even to our local Raspberry cluster, whatever we want to do. So scaling up should be possible, I guess, at least in the short term, until we roll into like some more issues. But I'd say, yeah, that'll probably be the biggest issue, scaling to 3D as well.
Cool, thanks.
Cool. And just Izzy, any final comments?
I thought the applicability, that there's definitely opportunities there. And yeah, a big focus on the tech side. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I think my tip for next time would be to just talk through a bit more on the context. Also in like interviewing, that's really like helpful for us to just understand more the journey. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Great work, guys.
Cool. Good job, team.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Cool, thanks.
And we have our
and
final
the next
pitch.
team, we have Segfold. It's the team name is Segfold instead of UCC. In fact, I've added it.
Hello.
Yep.
So do I just start screen share?
Yep. Yes. Ready when you are.
Awesome. Just a moment. Okay. Alrighty. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome. Great. Please let me know when I can start. I'll just turn on my video just a moment.
Yeah, just start whenever you're ready.
All right. Ever since COVID turned the world upside down, everyone has been trying to bring the best part of in-person events to online. Instead, moving forward, when we get back to our in-person events, we want to do the opposite and bring the best part of online events back to in-person events. And that's exactly what our app, Ephemeral, aims to do by innovating a new way to socialize at events. Meet Alice and James. Alice is attending a music festival and would love to meet people with similar music tastes and interests at the event, while James is a climate researcher attending a climate conference and would like to connect with researchers working in his field of conference. Currently, there is really no good way for these people to meet and connect with the potentially hundreds or thousands of people at these events, apart from possibly just walking up to them and saying hi one by one. Wouldn't it be great if there was some way to connect and chat with people like they could when they were attending virtual events? Introducing Ephemeral. Ephemeral is an ephemeral and location-based social networking app. Ephemeral allows users to create and join social networks based on their location by utilizing geofencing. Users within a certain radius of an event can join this network, interact with people, and make friends and connections. Let's take a quick look at the technical demo. Upon landing on our home screen, users are greeted with events that are happening nearby that are also tagged with their interests. If an event that is relevant to your interest that you've let us know about happens, you get a ping if it's nearby you. Events that are growing very quickly are also highlighted with this pulse. So let's take a look at what's happening at Coachella. Once a user is interested in an event, they can join the event and send a message to say hi. There can be multiple channels for multiple things. And there are also other features such as taking part in any polls that the event organizer is running, taking part in a Q&A, which might be a celebrity at a music festival doing the Q&A with their fans, and also connecting directly with people who've chosen to make themselves publicly visible at the event. Let's say hi to Adam really quickly. There is also a maps view for the events, which show the different events, and the circles represent the spread of people at the event. So there's more spread out in the event, the bigger the circle. You can also see if any of your friends are attending the events nearby. Going back to our presentation, our technical stack features a React front-end built with Chakra UI to make a mobile-first web app powered by Socket.io on the back end, which uses geofencing to use a user's nearby location to help them discover nearby events. Our market research has shown that we are unique, meaning there are almost no direct competitors in this space. What is our biggest differentiator is that all networks formed are ephemeral and temporary in nature, meaning you can only access them at the event for a certain time. It is this exclusivity of accessing these networks which is going to be the biggest engagement driver, as people do not want to be missing out on the next big event happening at them. Our product roadmap is now on the screen. Our biggest strength is the fact that we're entering a new space with high growth potential and the chances of having a high chance of virality, as events going viral will help the app go viral as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Cool. I'll hand it over to the judges. I will start off with Jono. Can you kick us off?
Thank you. Yeah, amazing idea and phenomenal execution there with the product. You mentioned in your pitch that there are no direct competitors. What would you say is the closest thing existing on the market, and how does your thing stand out from what there is?
So that's definitely a great question, and I think a very relevant and recent competitor might be Telegram, which introduced location-based texting to people. And the way we differentiate ourselves from apps, there's a lot of apps that do that, and the way we differentiate ourselves, we're not concerned with the whole idea of, hey, do you want to chat to this random stranger nearby? That's not the target market we're going after. What we're going after is the event market, that you are at an event, you really want to socialize with people that have a very similar interest to you. And that's kind of tokenized by the fact that if they showed up physically at that event, they probably do have a very similar interest. And they want to connect and network with people over there. And on top of that, the hype culture aspect of it, that everything is ephemeral, it only exists for a certain period of time, and after that, it's gone. So we're really focusing in on the event demographic, and that's kind of what sets us apart from everything else on the market.
Right, gotcha. Thank you.
Well, next, we'll go to Izzy K.
Yeah, well done, guys. I really like this idea. I really like the idea of being able to connect with people that are like-minded and also close to me geographically. So I really like this idea. My main question is around how you're going to incentivize event organizers and like organizations to list their events on the app. Because when you had your product roadmap on the screen there, you mentioned like it had a good chance of virality, but you sort of focused on the incentives for users, like individuals, around being things like getting event merch and things like that. So I'm wondering how you're planning on enticing organizations onto the app.
Yeah, so again, another great question, and that's something we thought about how we monetize and incentivize the organizers. And the way we're thinking about it is, if an organizer has a direct community about their event happening at the moment, and they have access to that community, they have a very direct-to-consumer right of advertising. So an example of this is, let's take the Coachella Music Festival. If they have a way to directly ping 3,000 users that one of their sponsors, such as Coca-Cola, has launched a new drink and it's 50% off event-wide, that is way better than just having a banner that's kind of in everyone's peripheral vision and no one really cares about. And when they have that direct-to-consumer marketing right, that's what's really going to be the value for them. And that's why they would want to be part of it, because they give us a premium to get a premium channel to their customers, which they can use to advertise their own products or advertise their sponsors' products. And that's the value we provide to them in exchange for the premium we'll charge them.
Oh, good answer. Cheers.
And lastly, we'll hear from Gabe.
Hey guys, great presentation. Interesting idea as well. Now, something that's interesting to me about this is that you talked about it being ephemeral. And I think the fact that it's ephemeral is its biggest advantage, in the sense that you went through it to create something that's exclusive and something that's interesting and time-bound and all these different things. But the fact that it's ephemeral may also be its biggest disadvantage, which is that as soon as I connect with somebody, I can connect with them through your app during the event. But after that, my interaction with them is going to move off the app into another app.
Yeah.
Let's say Facebook or something like that. How do you think about that in terms of retaining users and not moving them off your platform as soon as you acquire them?
Yeah, so the way we actually really thought about it, that so there's a couple of ways. So first off, the direct messaging part that we showed off, those, all you have to do is form the connection per se at the event. Those direct chats exist beyond the event. It's just the actual event network that sees it sticks there. And secondly, while we fully acknowledge that it is a big target market, like the general social network market, we don't really want to be going into direct competition with Facebook or LinkedIn for those everlasting connections. So as far as them moving off the app, my own priority is that they've been on the app and they'll come back to it to make these new connections, because that's where our revenue stream is. Our revenue stream is not continuously keeping them on the app, because we don't have persistent advertisements like Facebook does, for example, or LinkedIn does. So we were concerned with focusing them on increasing the number of people that are in our revenue stream. And that would be my answer.
Awesome. Good answer.
Thank you. That's the end of the question time.
Awesome.
And to the judges, we actually have one final team that wasn't added onto the list. But I
bonus.
added it. Yeah.
What is the team name?
It's Synxis, something along that.
Sync CSE. Hmm.
Yep. Hi.
Hi. Hello. How are we?
Do you want to start sharing screen? Oh yes, to the other group, you can jump off the call now. Grand finale.
Yeah.
You can start sharing screen or your pitch whenever you're ready.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. So just a quick update on the plan. I'll screen share a presentation and then we'll flip over for a screen share with Angus to demo through the product.
Yeah.
Right. So we're just being overloaded by endless streams of information, right? It's everywhere around us at every moment of our lives. Just take a moment just to try and memorize this ID number for me here. 8D421TZ3. You got it? I mean, probably not, right? It's just too hard to memorize. Instead, what we have is, they're trying memorizing this instead. Apple, baby, car. Got it now? I think it's much easier for us to memorize this instead. Well, why is that the case? Let's have a look at why.
Have you ever tried to read a serial number off the phone? What about remembering a secure password with diverse character types, entering your credit card details online, or using a gift card code? It's simply impossible to effectively memorize and communicate a confusing sequence of random numbers and characters. So what's the natural way to remember things? It's by forming associations between information to be remembered and previously existing knowledge and memories.
Our solution is Memric. This is a program which can encode complex character sequences, like the one that you see here, into simple, memorable words, like the simple 4 words, bacon, lettuce, tomato, sandwich. It's a simple and elegant solution, but we are establishing a new universal standard for representing reference data. Now I'm going to pass it off to Angus for a demo.
All right. Screen share. All right, can you see? So this is the numeric homepage, and I'll give you a quick demo of encoding the serial number of my laptop which has been modified, so it's not actual value. So C1MRD05GG944. See, that's me looking at it right over here. It's pretty hard to enter. Now, if we can click convert, you see it automatically selects the character sets which are used in the serial number, and then we can show the decoding process. This is what you'd transmit if you wanted to do a decoding. Decode, copy it in, and there you go, we get it back. Now, other use cases, we have phone numbers. If you want to encode someone's phone number, this is one of our larger use cases, which unfortunately we were able to get it theoretically into 3 words, but our current solution can only convert it into 5 words. But here's a phone number that doesn't exist, 0414667754. Convert it into 5 words. Making unchanged processes gives antibody. Now, if I want to decode that again, making unchanged processes gives antibodies. As you can see, like in the few seconds I had there to memorize it, 3 words is probably my limit, and that's where we're moving towards for this. And it gives antibody. Making unchanged processes gives antibody. There we go, and then we've decoded to our phone number. And here's another use case is for if I'm entering a redemption code for, say, Adobe gift card, and we hope that in the future the numeric phrase will be actually printed on the card, so that I don't have to copy the characters character by character. Instead, I can copy it a little bit quicker. So here I will, mining handled cassette physiologic miniature quasi auto accent bringing filtering pool. And this is going to convert into my serial number. So what we want to move towards is, again, we can make this more efficient. We just had to cut out some functionality in the last moment because we hadn't got it ready yet. And we're hoping that this become a standard where, for example, Apple might have it integrated with their phones, where if you want to tell someone your phone number, you can just tell them 3 words, they type it in, they memorize it, and it will convert it straight back for you. So yeah, that's the demo. If we want to talk a little bit of how the algorithm works, we sourced a list of 15 million words of text from the Open American National Corpus. We did some filtering. We removed any profanity and words that were too short, and we took the top 8,196 words, which means that we can encode 13 bits per word. Now, for the encoding character sets, we were going to use arithmetic encoding, but we couldn't do it properly. So instead, we've sort of used Huffman encoding in a sense that it's not supposed to be used, so that we can perform non-fixed width characters. And that gives us the opportunity to use only decimal digits, even though there's only 10 decimal digits and the nearest power of 2 is 16. So that's the idea. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I'll share one more thing. These displays on the left here show that common types of serial numbers and standards and how they link to our code format. All right, thank you.
Cool. I'll hand it over to the judges. We'll start with Nir.
Thanks. Really cool idea. Needless to say, your example in the beginning of the presentation was great, because I could not for the life of me remember the code, but could definitely remember the words. So awesome. You touched, as far as my question goes, you touched on it a bit, but I still want to understand a bit better what this challenges with scalability are. Obviously, converting, looking at pins and codes and converting them to words, it only makes sense if you can keep the words to a certain number of words, and not using words that, because you told me you filtered the words to remove any profanities and short words, but you have very long words, for example, which would be equally as ambiguous or hard to remember, for example. So how, if you could give me like an idea of how scalable this thing really is when looking at like every serial number out there, for example.
Well, yeah, like I said before, our original idea, or our revised idea of using arithmetic encoding, would allow us to convert 10 digits into only 3 words. but our current one is not that efficient because during the hackathon we were limited by time. So instead it converts it to 5 words. So that's a pretty significant difference. Like I showed you in the demo, even myself struggled to remember 5 words in an instant. But that was an instant, right? I didn't spend time memorizing that. So 3 words, I think, if we can move towards that, it would be really useful for phone numbers. And for other use cases, again, it's more of you're reading into your computer, and you don't have to keep like losing track of which character you're on. That's, I think, our biggest use case. And anything else is a bonus.
One quick add-on. Is there any reason for it not to work? And I know the answer is probably yes, but to work with other languages for other demographics, for example?
I'm not sure, because English, we split it into specific words, right? But I know languages like Chinese, Japanese, you have characters which can represent words and can also combine to form words. So it might be an additional challenge, but we'll see where it goes, I suppose.
Cool, thanks.
Next up, we'll hear from Shane.
Hey, yeah, I thought it was a really cool idea because things like serial numbers are this pain in the ass to read sometimes. My question is, does the user have like an easy way to maybe store these mappings of like words to serial numbers or whatever the underlying pin thing may be? Or do they need to like access your site? Is that something that on the roadmap for you guys?
The way we see it is it's more of a standardized format for like machine readable code converting to human readable code. And even though the human readable code doesn't convey any information about the product, it just makes it easier for us to communicate and to type it into different products. So our website is more of a display of the standard rather than the product that's being sold. Like the product is sort of the algorithm, and the website is the display.
Cool. Ideally, we in the future have like a browser extension or sort of an app that can encode using a camera to make everything easier.
Cool.
Yeah,
a browser extension would be nice.
In
Yeah,
principle,
browser
I
extension.
think,
Yes, sorry.
yeah, we want to keep the algorithm completely client-side so that there's no communication between a server or a backend or a database, which will ensure that it keeps whatever input that you give into the web app completely secure and not accessible by anyone else.
And currently, it is completely client-side at the moment. You just have to transmit the word dictionary and the algorithm itself, and that's all you need.
Cool. Nice work.
Cool. Lizzie, any final comments?
I thought it was super interesting. Like, if I was listening to this as a project during an interview, I'd be like, tell me more. So ticks for the idea. I think it's just, we always like to see kind of like where you take it next. So that would be my suggestion. I think for all the teams that worked on your ideas. So this was a great starting point. So you can always, we'd love to hear post-event if you even took it that step further.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Q&A. Good job, everybody.
Thank you very much. That was really fun.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Exactly. It was great. It was great to do something so massive for us as first years in a single weekend. So.
Love it.
Yeah.
Should we leave now?
Yes, you can have it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
So that wraps up the live judging round. Props to the students for pushing through, got across the line. On behalf of the whole Syncs team, I want to say a massive thank you to our awesome judging panel. I'm sure this teams really appreciate your insights and feedback. Now onto the hard part. The judges will be busy deliberating, and you'll hear back from the Syncs team. Some of our judges at the closing ceremony, but we'll be announcing the hack winners. That's all from my side. Is there anything Sonia, Izzy, do you want to say a few words?
Yes, I'd love to say a few words. So thanks everyone for joining. There were so many interesting ideas. I think we were really impressed. Everyone handled the Q&A really well. So I would take this as a learning experience. Everyone had really good energy, were very enthusiastic about their ideas. And I would say that, like, I know that you had assignments all the like on the side too, and a lot of work went into these and it really showed. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was great. Overall, we enjoyed it. And I think we're gonna have a tough time deliberating, but it was a great experience for us. And yes. Woo!
Thanks, Izzy. I guess you can hop off the call now and we'll see everyone at the closing ceremony.
Okay, cool. To my judges, I'm gonna ping the